morning to everybody. Last two classes to be discussing for environmental issues up to greenhouse gases and effect of regarding what greenhouse gases. Those two characteristic features, it is uploaded through YouTube's. Please watch the videos thoroughly and keenly observe each and every word, then it can possibly easily understand. For the continuation today, the class is commonly called as ozone layer. Ozone is a colorless gas. We cannot estimate which is the perfect color of regarding ozone. That we say it is a colorless gas. The gas easily react with environmental air pollutants. That is the real possession of regarding what colorless gas of ozone. It is easily reactive with or readily reactive with environmental air pollutants. So what do you mean called pollutants? Pollutant means which component or which substances responsible for create the pollution is commonly called as the pollutants. So here, the ozone gas react with the environmental air pollutant. It can cause some problems. Or what are the causes that must be occur that environment produces? The first one, crack the rubbers. Damage the plant tissues. Then damage the animal tissues. So ozone, this is a layer that is protect or absorb some harmful substances such as ultraviolet rays, alpha and ultraviolet gamma from the sun. So that here ozone layer absorb some harmful substances such as UV alpha and UV beta. UV alpha and UV beta from the sun. Why that layer absorb that UV rays from the sun means? Because that UV is directly entered into the earth mean it can cause so many kinds of problem. In order to prevent this problem, that layer which protect UV alpha and UV beta. In addition, what do you mean commonly called as Dobson unit? So what is the meaning of adsorption unit? Is nothing but it is the unit of or the measurement of total ozone layer, that is commonly called as adsorption unit. So for example, one pure 0.01 millimeter ozone layer is made to require 0° temperature and 1% of pressure with the atmosphere, along with many molecules coming together to form one ozone layer. That is called adsorption unit. How it can be measured? The adsorption unit is commonly called as 0.001 adsorption unit, or otherwise known as, how it will be indicated is commonly called as 1%. Sometimes it can be calculated what is the total ozone layer in the earth. It can be measured about 0.3 centimeter, or is otherwise known as 3 millimeter, or otherwise known as 300 adsorption units. So please note that it is very essential to recording it. The total ozone layer in the earth is commonly called as 0.3 centimeter, or it may be measured otherwise 3 millimeter, or it is also known as 300 adsorption units. In order to like this, ozone layer is a colorless gas. I am already indicating to you. Sometimes it can be said it's a false color zone to be seen. So what is the meaning of regarding false color zone means? The ozone layer it indicate purple color and blue color that can be possessed lower ozone zone. It's nothing but what? Purple and blue that can be possessed lower ozone zone. In addition, yellow and red it can be possessed higher ozone zone. The next one topic is going to commonly called as ozone depletion. Ozone layer is the region of Earth's stratosphere that ozone layer it can be observed maximum UV radiations from the sun. If ozone layer cannot absorb or cannot filter for maximum UV means, if it is entered to the regarding earth mean, it can cause so many kinds of health problem. In order to protect from the diseases, ozone layer, it can be absorb all the radiation from the sun. In addition, ozone layer is also known as ozone shield. Ozone shield is act as protective shield. That protective shield absorbs maximum UV radiations from the sun. What type of radiation it can be absorbed is commonly called as UVB and UVA. So EV is denoted as commonly called as ultraviolet. So UV radiation is generally harmful to the human beings. Why is harmful to the human beings? Due to entry of regarding UV, it is damage to the DNA molecules. So what is the DNA? Deoxyribonuclease. DNA is a genetic material most of the living organism, even including virus, because the virus is genetic materials, either DNA is RNA. So here, due to the entry of regarding UV, B or UVA, it is a harmful effect to the human beings. Particularly, it can be affect regarding what DNA molecules. I am already indicating to you, the ozone layer, it can measure which type of units. That is commonly called as Dobson unit. So what is the Dobson unit? The Dobson unit, it can be measured total layer of regarding what ozone layer. It can be measured in the form of 0.1 or 0.01 millimeter thickness of ozone layer. It's required for 1% of temperature, then 1% of regarding what atmospheric pressure, and so many kinds of molecules which are combined to form a unit of Dobson unit. So the ozone layer can be measured by a unit is commonly called as Dobson unit. So nowadays, some of the substance or some of the gaseous substances present in the atmosphere, the ozone layer is being declined. Or which are the activities to be influenced? The ozone layer is being declined because some of the gaseous substances present in the atmosphere or some of the gaseous substance present in that earth. Which substances is present in the earth is very good phenomenon commonly called as CFC. What is CFC? Chloro chlorofluorocarbon. These substances or these harmful substances is a dangerous substances. Nowadays it gives harmful effect to the human beings. Which of the compound is responsible for releasing that kinds of harmful substances is nothing but one of the electronic apparatus commonly called as refrigerator. Then aerosols, then cleaners in industries. Those are responsible for releasing such harmful substances in the environment, that is commonly called as chlorofluorocarbon. In the presence of the chlorofluorocarbon, the ozone layer is being declined, or the ozone layer is reduced the thickness. In order to weigh the thickness of regarding ozone hole is much affected due to presence of regarding what the chlorofluorocarbon. In the presence of the chlorofluorocarbon, the thickness of ozone layer make hole. That's a commonly called as ozone hole. That ozone hole happens not happen to the other place. It can happen regarding only in a restricted area. That's why the hole is not occur as a uniform. Here and there it's a happen. So that's why the ozone hole it's a happening not in all the area. It happen only the regarding restricted area alone. September 16 is the World Ozone Day. So please note it is very essential regarding each point of view. In addition, due to presence of regarding what chlorofluorocarbon in the earth or the atmosphere, the ozone is made regarding what a hole. In the presence of the hole, every kinds of regarding what UV rays, it is easily entered to the regarding what the earth. When it enter to the earth, because the earth it containing so many kinds of living organisms there, namely human beings, plants, animal, insect and pest. So many kinds of living organisms there. Due to penetrate of regarding what UV rays in the earth, it can cause so many hazardous or dangerous phenomena happen. What are the type of UV rays enter in the earth due to depleting of ozone hole? Is namely UVB and UVC. So UVB, it is entered to the earth mean it's happening burning of skin and damage to the tissues. In addition, UVC, it is the most dangerous ultraviolet rays. So comparing B, UVC is the most dangerous ultraviolets, but these are generally filtered to ozone layer. %95 of UV, it can cause so many kinds of diseases, particularly regarding what skin burning. Resulting grease produce skin cancer. So 95% of UV which can be cause skin burning, resulting rays produce skin cancer. So what I am telling or what are the things to be initiated to the world scientists mean. So Earth, it is a good places for being well of all kinds of living organism. If all living organism to survival for well-known means, we need uniform thickness of regarding what to ozone layer, because ozone layer is a mad hole that's commonly called as ozone hole. It's a happen in a restricted area, but it's a happen means cannot survival to all kinds of living organism. To survival all living organism on the earth means we need uniform thickness of regarding what UV layers. During 1970s, many researches are going on. About ozone depletion. The research is indicate that due to presence of CFC in Earth, the chlorofluorocarbon is highly damaged to ozone layer, resulting decline the layer of ozone. So the declinity to be indicated by world scientists during regarding what 1970s. This indication to be given by are this threatened event. Given by World Meteorological Organizations and United Nations. So the threatened, what threatened? Due to presence of chlorofluorocarbon in the air, that substance is highly damaged to the ozone layer, resulting ozone layer is a being thinness. That a threatened events indicated to the world is commonly called as World Meteorological Organization and regarding what United Nations. In order to prevent that chlorofluorocarbon or greenhouse gas emission, that's some summits that takes place. One is a called Vienna Convention Act. It is agreed during 1985, but it is amended alone, but it's not regarding what implemented. But the Vienna Convention Act is implemented during 1988. Later, the World Treaty is implemented. That World Treaty is commonly called as Marshall Protocol. This happened in the era of 1987 in Canada. objectives of the World Treaty of regarding what Manchester Protocol is nothing but prevent entry of chlorofluorocarbon in the atmosphere or restrict or reduce the emissions of regarding what greenhouse gases. That is that World Treaty implemented Manchester Protocol. The next one commonly called as Kyoto Protocol. Kyoto Protocol is also called Clean Development Mechanism. Kyoto Protocol is also called Clean Developmental Mechanism. What is the objectives of Clean Developmental Mechanism, or also called regarding Kyoto Protocol? Kyoto Protocol, it can be implemented with the year of 2007. What is the objectives of regarding what the Kyoto Protocol? The first one objective is called prevent climatic changes. Second one, reduce emissions of greenhouse gas. There is a two objectives. What is the first one? Prevent climatic changes. Second one, reduce emissions of greenhouse gases. That two object is greatly help to world population. Why? It's a greatly help regarding world population. There's two objectives to be followed world people. In order to follow that, the world became is a clean because reduce greenhouse gases. What activity it's made by prevent or reduce the regarding greenhouse gas mean? The objective is applicable to for Kyoto Protocol. It's simple mechanism that is commonly called as that activities is commonly called as supplementation of electricity mechanism. Or supplementation of electricity generation. In general, if our manufacture of electricity means it can utilize regarding what fossil fuel of regarding coal. If we using coal for electricity management, so many kinds of regarding carbon dioxide emissions are takes place. So carbon dioxide is one kinds of greenhouse gases. If carbon dioxide level it can be increasing more means resulting global warming takes place. Global warming takes place means it can affect or it happen so many kinds of hazardous effect that takes place in the environment. So that's why instead of electricity generation, supplementation takes place. That supplementation is commonly called as its renewable sources. What renewable sources you have to utilize to reduce that greenhouse gases? One is the car, solar panel. Second one, energy efficient boiler. If you are using or you have to follow that kinds of activities of solar panel or energy efficient boilers are used mean there is no emissions of greenhouse gases. If there is no emissions of greenhouse gases means there is no possibility to regarding what global warming. That's why the world organism or the world treaty to give a certificate. What type of certificate given by regarding solar panel and energy efficient bulb is commonly called as certificate for emission reduction. So those two are it can possible to reduce atmospheric regarding greenhouse gases. That's why those two it get regarding what certificate. The certificate is commonly called as it is a very good credit for that kinds of activities. It is a very good score for that kinds of activities. That is equivalent to 1 ton of recording carbon dioxide. That is the target of Kyoto Protocol. The next one we going to discuss about plant indicators. What is the definition or meaning of plant indicators? Presence or absence of some of the plants that indicate the state of the environments, or otherwise known as plant species or plant community it acts as measured the environment or measure the environmental conditions. So plant species or plant community that act as measure the environmental condition that is commonly called as plant indicators or otherwise known as biological indicators. Or phyto indicators. Some example given by plant indicators. Plants indicators. The first one, lichens, ficus, pinus and rose. So lichen, ficus, pinus and rose. Those plant is indicate for sulfur dioxide pollutions. Second thing, Petunia hybrida or Petunia and the chrysanthemum. Those two is responsible for indicate nitrate indicate pollution. The third thing, gladiolus, which indicate fluoride indicator or fluoride pollution indicator. Fourth one, pseudo-acacia, are also known as black locust tree, that is indicate to regarding what heavy metal indicators. Do you know the examples of heavy metals? There is nothing but lead, cadmium, and arsenic. Those are all commonly called as heavy metals. The next one I am going to discuss about. Ozone or effects of ozone depletion. What are the first effect is commonly called as? Due to increase the temperature in the atmosphere, resulting increasing cataracts. Is not only increasing cataract as well as irritating throat and lens. This is the first effect of ozone. Second thing, increasing the effect of or effect on asthma and emphysema and skin cancer. So what is the meaning of emphysema is commonly called as damaging inner wall of alveoli. If it is damaging inner wall of alveoli means it cannot happen, perfect breathing is affected. Then the third one is commonly called as juvenile mortality of animals. That means juvenile means commonly called as early stages. So some of that organism it must be death at the early stages. Fourth one is commonly called as increase the incidence of mutation. So what is the meaning commonly called as mutation? That means commonly called as sudden changes. The fifth one is commonly called as due to increasing temperature, the process will be happening in plants. The high temperature, if it is present, mean affect photosynthetic chemicals. If it is affect the photosynthetic chemical means resulting affect the process of regarding what the photosynthesis. If it is affect the process of photosynthesis mean the plant cannot prepare food. If it is cannot prepare food means resulting what happen mean food scarcity takes place. In order to the, if it is increasing temperature is not only affect the photosynthetic chemicals as well as affect the photosynthesis mean that time prevent the emissions of regarding water oxygen as well as evaluation of carbon dioxide is more. If evaluation of carbon dioxide is more mean resulting what happen is commonly called as in the environment resulting increase the temperature. It is a very good phenomena for effect of global warming. Then sixth one, increasing temperature, what is happening? It happen some climatic changes. What is the climatic changes that takes place? In order to increase the temperature happen is heavy rainfall, some places happen regarding water floods. In order to the high temperature, some of the places happen regarding what? Drought. Due to increase the temperature in sea level to be rise, why means melting of polar ice caps and the melting of glaciers, sea level to rise means so many kinds of coastal cities is going to recording submersion. In addition, affecting flora and fauna. What is the commonly called as flora? Flora is commonly called as plants. Fauna is commonly called as animals. So in order to increase in temperature, affect plants as well as regarding animals. So due to increase the temperature, it's a happening, highly affecting entire ecosystem. Those are commonly called as effects of ozone depletions. So this is an end for this environmental issue up to ozone depletion. The next one topic is going to regarding what? Forestry. Thank you.